Right, what's up, guys? Day something or other. You probably wonder why I'm wearing a hat. I'm sick of my hair being like this, so I put a hat on. Simple as that, really, because my hair is flat. I'm not lucky. I don't have like some crazy hair going on when I get out the shower, and it's like doesn't. It literally just goes fucking flat. So I had to. Yeah, no one cares. Um, so yeah, it's day 131. Uh, to be honest, I don't really have too much to talk about. I think just today's been really stressful, to be honest. Be 100% real with you guys. Like, I don't know. Well, obviously, I did things. I made this whole fucking doc for this whole content plan for this guy's in Guatemala at the moment. And I released my newsletter today. So if you saw that, cool. I realized that I did make a few grammar mistakes. Not grammar as much, but more so I forgot to put a word in the subject lines, but it's like the subject line is the art. Where's the subject line? Because I missed a word in it, and I was like, "Fuck!" And I can't. I changed it on the website, but I couldn't change it in the email that went out, so I look like an idiot. But yeah. So the subject line that is out is the art frictionless action. There's no of. I was meant to put art of, and then also a bit further down, you get to uh here, and I say start running more, or like the grammar. I should have put start a business as opposed to starting a business. Such small things. Those are the only two fucking problems. But if you saw the newsletter, I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit of a read today. It was a bit of a bible, if you want to call it that. But I think it was good. And yeah, I mean, yeah, just today has been not that anything's gone wrong really. I've just kind of just been thinking and stuff, man. I don't really know what I'm really like worried about, but I'm worried about something, and it's almost naive of me because I don't know what it is, but it's something, and it's always with me. Like I don't know, man. It's just there. Like I'm just worried about something, and I'm always like sat in like a constant fear of worry, like to which I can't enjoy stuff as much as I could do if it wasn't there. You know, I don't know what it is. I think it's just the worry of entrepreneurship and like relying on yourself to get yourself paid, like relying on no one other than yourself to make money, uh, really and truly. And I don't know, man. I've just today's just been weird. Like I woke up, it was fine, and then I had to do this doc before I did doc before I did anything because I wanted to get it up ASAP and sent across ASAP. So I had to do that. Then wrote my newsletter. Then went to the gym with the intention of doing more of this doc sheet when I got back for the thing that we're releasing. And I did some of that, but I didn't do as much as I wanted to. I was just thinking about things, man. Like I don't know if you guys have the same thing, but like if I mean I don't want to like. It's not a flex. It's just literally just maybe a role with you guys. Like I don't. I've never had a job, right? So I've always relied on myself to get myself paid to do certain things. And with that, I've always been in a sense of worry, more so now than it was back then. I don't know why that is. Maybe just because I've grown up and I realize more things and I analyze more things. Because back then I was just getting paid and I was like, oh, cool, I'm 16 and there's no pressure on me. But I guess it's because there's more pressure being put on me as well. But then again, now like I look, I don't want to compare myself to others. I also don't want to like put myself on a pedestal in any regard. Like that's not what I'm trying to do here. But I think I'm putting far too much pressure on myself than I need to. Not so much that it's not a good thing, pressure, but it like deteriorates my mentality. Like my I don't want to say mental health because I feel like that's just like a stigma. It's got a massive stigma on it because I like that's I don't think like that. I'm not worried like mental health wise. It's more so just stress and like actually enjoying the things that I'm doing because I'm always thinking, oh, and it should be doing this, should I be doing this, should I be doing that? And what I was trying to get at is I look at everyone my age and I'm like, I'm putting so much pressure on myself to do certain things, whereas these guys, they're like again, it sounds egotistical. I'm not trying to say this, but they're at university or they're doing certain things, and it's not like they've got into or have kind of gone into the workforce yet. So I've kind of got that time for my specific age bracket, I guess, in the regards to what other people kind of think, which I guess I'm looking at what other people think of me, right? But I just want to have like a good rep in that regard. and I don't want to be that guy who didn't go to uni and then is always just trying to pursue this dream and never gets there. So I guess that's what I'm kind of worried about. But I just look at it as that's kind of my fallback. I'm like, well, not my fallback as on a whole, but like everyone that I went to school with is at uni, obviously getting into debt or doing certain things to with the hopes of getting a job in that whatever. To which they haven't even started their pursuit of, I guess, work, I guess, money, whatever you want to call it. So that kind of gives me that don't want to call it, what do I call that, like barrier. I don't know what you want to call it, but you know what I mean. Like that little bit of time where I'm like, okay, I can fail a lot more times now because I can. There are other guys that aren't working either, and there's not that much weight on my shoulders. And I guess and that's kind of the case for the whole of my 20s, but still, like, it's easy to look back on it when you're like 30 or 40 and look and be like, this. Um, I worried so much. I didn't take as many risks in my 20s as I thought. I always worrying, and I completely get that. But when you're actually in the time of your 20s, you put so much pressure. I don't know if it's just if I want to use the universal phrase of you put so much pressure on yourself, but I certainly put so much pressure on myself to do certain things. And it stops me from enjoying certain things, and I'm always thinking about the next thing. I'm always thinking about, oh, I should be doing this, should I be doing this? And then whenever I'm doing something that's not necessarily productive or correlates to me making money to attain it within good time, then I kind of just feel like shit, if that makes sense. Like maybe even when I'm reading a book, I can't bring myself to read a book. I did last night for a bit, but even when I'm reading a book, I was like, I would just be like, I should be working. I should be doing stuff to get me to. So I know it's so backwards. I know it's so like not smart. It's so like naive, but it's one thing saying it's naive, but it's another thing actually like not being affected by it. And I also think that we all have this goal of making money quickly, and with that comes the intent of working towards getting it quickly. So anything that you're doing isn't working towards you getting that money quickly and getting the outcome of what you're doing quickly, whatever it may be, then you just feel like shit doing it, man. And I feel like it's bad because life's kind of passing you by and you've only got one chance to live. And in that regard, I feel like I'm almost not using my time as best as I can. And I think that it's just, how do I say this? I've completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, I think a lot of us look at all of these people online who are making shit tons of money for their age, and they're a similar age to ourselves, and we're like, fuck, why aren't I doing that? And then you try and work and reach the level that they're at, and doing so, every time you're not doing something that correlates to your goals, you feel like shit because you're not doing something that correlates to that outcome. But also, with that, it also takes away from your actual life. It's really sad, actually. I don't know how to explain this properly, but when you're in a moment in life, like whatever it is, like it could be as small as going on a dog walk with your family or going on holiday or sitting on a beach or watching a film with your family or whatever it is, right? If you're anything like me, the thought of you could be working, you could be doing certain things to move your life forward, you could be doing this, you could be doing that. It always takes away from that moment to which you're never actually in the moment, in the present, enjoying what it is that you're doing. And I think it's sad, man. And I don't, I think, again, I hate on social media so much, and for good reason, to be honest. But that's another thing with social media is like you compare yourself to so many fucking people and so many outcomes. And you're like, if he's at that outcome at this age, why can't I be at that outcome at this age? And with that, it always plays on your mental to be like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And then there's so many like different like gurus giving you different advice. Like, yeah, you need to be putting up 16-hour days. You need to be doing 12-hour days, 16 hours days, 18-hour days. You need to be sleeping for 3 hours every night because you need to be working more and more and more if you really want it. And with that information that you're always consuming unintentionally as well, it just kind of appears on your timeline, and then you have to consume it, and it just kind of like accumulates in your head. I think it's so negative because that's where it stems from. The thought process of I should be working right now, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be doing this. And yeah, I think in general, I think the people in this space need to enjoy their lives more. But then again, I'm not an entrepreneur, so I know that it takes more than what you think. I know it takes a lot to get to where you want to get to. I know that. So I don't know. It's just finding a balance, man. I really don't know. Yeah, it's just it's really hard to quit social media. It really is. And I mean, I don't need to tell you guys that because I'm sure you all know it as well. It's really fucking hard to like not use not use social media. I mean, I actually look like a fucking emo with this hat on. Jesus Christ, with this fucking trim. I'm just gonna get rid of the hair. There you go. You can just look at my face. Yeah, I think it's I don't really know I'm really going with this, man. It's just for the pursuit of my future and the pursuit of a dream that I have, I'm kind of disregarding everything in the present for the hopes that in the future it will be better. I think it all kind of stems down to that. If I were to put it into one sentence, it would be that. Um, it's not so much that I do disregard it, but every time that I am in a good moment, I am still thinking about what I could accomplish, what I need to do to accomplish it, and all of these things. But yeah, man. I mean, I think we all get in our heads a lot, and the advice that I can give you is get a fucking notepad and write down everything that you're stressed about. Write down the worst that's going to happen, the worst thing that can happen, and then you're going to come to realize that it's not actually that bad, the situation that you're worried about, and you're going to in turn feel better. I think, and yeah, I didn't really think this video would be that long. It's not like a depressing video. It's not like anything. Literally, nothing's gone wrong with me today. Like nothing's gone wrong. It's not like anything's happened. It's more so that I just feel at the moment that I'm living the same day, day after day after day after day after day, which I guess is there's so many different perspectives to anything that goes on in the world, right? There's so many different perspectives, and a lot of you will be thinking, good, you want to achieve this goal, your days should look pretty similar, and I'd agree, but there's also a ton of negatives that come with that, and it's just taking action on it really. And it's not so much like you guys probably watching this video be like, wow, this guy's so fucking depressed. Why is this guy so depressed? I'm not depressed. I've never been depressed in my life, ever. Well, obviously, depressed is a very broad term, and a lot of people I think a lot of people use it nowadays because nowadays the term depressed as because it's trendy, when in fact you're just sad because something isn't going well in your life or something's gone wrong. I think that depressed is a very broad term, and people use it to the wrong extent a lot of the time. So I'm not quote unquote depressed in any regard, nor am I really sad or anything like that. It's more so that I'm just incredibly like stressed, and I've got a lot of pressure put on myself to achieve certain things. And when I'm not doing things that actually correlate to that and correlate to the outcome that I'm trying to produce, trying to get to, then I don't know about you guys, but I just don't I feel like I should be doing more. So yeah, I'm not sad, I'm more depressed. And if anyone like I'm probably the last person that's ever going to get depressed or sad because well, I don't want to sound like, oh look at me, I'm fucking sick, but I'm so good at like getting myself out of slumps because I'll write stuff down on notepads, I'll go on walks, I'll go to the gym, I'll like eat good food, I don't kind of get in slumps and sit in there and sit in a hole and like cry myself to sleep. I kind of get up and do something, which is a good kind of trait I think I have, but still, like I just think that I could be in such a better mental state than I am now. Not so much that again that I'm depressed, but more so that I'm just stressed, and I could be so much more content with the way that I'm going about my life and the way that I'm doing things. I think I could definitely be more content in that regard. So that's what I mean with what I'm saying here is I think I to be honest, right? I think all of these problems would go away if I actually made a plan every day or made certain things that actually correlate to my goals, and I do them with intent. Like I do one after one after one after one, as opposed to just kind of like aimlessly doing certain things whenever the time arises to do them. Because then you're always in a pitfall, like a pit of stress, and you're like, what should I do now? What should I do now? What should I do now? Is this going to work? Am I doing the right thing? If you can actually set it out and like manage it, so you do one thing, then another thing, and you're like, okay, so this is going to get me to my goal. What else do I need to do? I want to build my agency. Okay, I need to do more emails. I need to do more messages. I need to do more like sales training. I need to do more things because that's going to get me to the outcome, right? So then it's actually being like, okay, I'm going to send emails for an hour. I'm gonna fulfill this client for an hour. I'm gonna be doing this, do this, do this, and then once you finish that whole to-do list, you're gonna feel so much more content and happy than if you know that you've kind of avoided the things that you know you need to do for an extended period of time, and then you're still sat there and whole like, oh, I'm doing this, but I should be doing this instead. I think that's where my whole problem kind of stems from, and I mean, I'm literally just kind of talking to myself here and just going up on YouTube. That's kind of, I mean, it's literally just me talking to a camera this whole series, so. But yeah, I just I think that is where it stems from, and I've just got to be true to myself and and stop aimlessly doing things and do it more intentionally, if that makes sense. Because I know from all of these videos and the newsletters that you probably look at me and you're like, this guy's so fucking perfect. Well, you don't think I'm perfect because obviously I haven't achieved the goals that I'm at. But in regards to the way that I go about my life, the way that I portray myself with my newsletters and my videos, you think, nah, this guy's the most productive guy ever. He's got it all fucking laid out. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. And no, I don't to any fucking extent, no. But as I say, I know the principles of it, and it's just putting them into action. So, and also finding your way. And the best way of learning is teaching. So I'm doing both, but I'm kind of just talking my thoughts right now to a camera. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go away and use this notepad that's to my left. It's under. I'll just show you. It's really small. It's a little pocket notepad. I take it to the gym with me. This. It basically just write stuff down in it. But I think it would be beneficial to write a stress list. So, as opposed to a to-do list, you write a stress list. So things that you're actually stressed about. And then with that, you can write I think the worst things that you think could happen, because we always get up and get in our own heads and think like something crazy is going to happen. Whereas if we write it down, I read this in a book somewhere, I can't remember where it was, but if you write it down, you write down all of your thoughts rather than them being like loose marbles in your head. You write them down. You come to realize that it's never as bad as you think it is, and also makes you less stressed, and it also allows you to be more intentional and understand where you are at more. And with that in turn making you feel better about yourself when you actually do it. So I think that would be good to write down like my, don't want to say tasks, but like projects, and then obviously tasks that correlate with that, and then a stress list, and then just worst things that can happen, because it's never that bad. But again, when you haven't got it written down on paper, it always seems so much worse than it is. And when you've got everything written out on paper, it's no longer like roaming around your head like, oh, I'm meant to feel shit because I'm thinking this. If you write it down, you're like, oh, okay, that's not actually that bad. If I fail, all I'm going to do is just live with my parents on no money. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. Or it could be different. It's obviously different depending on the person. But is it really that bad? I think a lot of the stress that people put on me especially, is the opinions of others on your own reputation. That's where a lot of mine comes from, because I think, don't get me wrong, I've put myself in this position, and to an extent it's good. because it puts pressure on me, but I'm kind of seen as this entrepreneur guy, right? And if I were to go and get a job, I don't think the outcome would be bad at all, but it would just still be a thing that's like, oh, I thought this guy had his own business. Why is he getting a job? You know, and I'm not saying I'm gonna get a job. No, that's not what I'm saying. But that's always in the back of my mind is like, I want to be able to fulfill this kind of like thing that I've now bought myself. I don't want to lose respect from people or lose reputation because I'm worried that I'm going to do something wrong or fuck up or something like that. So, um, yeah, I'm just gonna write it all down and then just get stuff done. And I think if I actually do the things that I say I'm gonna do, I'm gonna feel so much more fulfilled. Like you know when you have a project when you had a project when you had homework when you were younger, well like a big one like I'm talking like a 4 week project if not longer, and you do it, you feel so good because it's now out of the way. Like that was your biggest stress at the time, and now it's gone. And with school when we were younger, we thought like it was so stressful, and we thought being an adult would be easier and whatever. And it can be if you play your cards right, but at the time that was your only stress. Once you got your homework done, it was literally it. That was it. Done. Zero. You finish your homework, and you could go and play stress free. You go and play football with your friends stress free. You can go play FIFA with your friends stress free. I remember so distinctly. It was Easter holidays back when I was like year 7, year 8, and I remember I was playing football with this. I went to this guy's house. He's called Ethan. I went to his house and we were playing football at this football pitch, whatever. Of course, it was a football pitch, and I just remember thinking to myself, "Holy shit! It's Easter holidays. It's Easter holidays, and I've got nothing to do, and I've got 2 weeks of just fun." And I think we can kind of recreate that now. To which, if we get all of our tasks done that we know are mandatory and the things that are going to move us forward, we're going to be able to allow ourselves to be in that mindset if we can actually do them, you know? And like be in that child mindset of like, oh, everything's done now. I can just chill, you know? So it's just a case of, I keep yawning, man. Writing everything down like on a to-do list and actually doing it and realizing what the highest ROI tasks that you have are and doing them. By the way, I'm not actually this fucking red and tanned and shit. It's this fucking light. It's like a halogen light and it's like quite orange. And also the camera's picking me up as like dark or whatever. But anyway, yeah, it all comes down to procrastination and then just doing it. And if you can just do it and just bang it all out, I think you can be so much more fulfilled. And you'll also be ingraining habits in yourself to do things like that. And then the easier going to get them while you do it. So it's writing it down, then actually executing on it. And that's where the fulfillment and the contentment comes from. And that I've basically just solved my whole problem in the last 20 minutes just from talking. So thank you guys. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go. I read a book last night. I was enjoying it, so I'm gonna go do that again now. It's not a fiction book; it's a non-fiction book. Um, yeah, I have like 5 books on the go right now. I'm just kind of switching between them. Some are quite hardcore business books. Some are like stoicism books, and the other ones are just like pretty chill books. They're still non-fiction, but like thinking fast and slow. You know, it's like a chilled out book. You can just read it. It's not like you're analyzing business strategies and stuff. So I think I'm going to do that and just chill out and go to bed, wake up in the morning with a plan, and actually get up straight away and execute on the plan really. So yeah, man, I don't really have much more to say. I just want to say thank you guys if you're still listening. And if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, there'll be another one out next Wednesday. And you can also check out my previous one on my website below. With that said, thank you for listening, and keep doing what you're doing, boys. Appreciate you. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. Bye.